Hello again. Welcome to episode number 21.
Hey, Facebook and YouTube.
Bourbon Zeppelins. You might be on Facebook. You might be on YouTube. I'm David.
I'm Jeremy.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you can watch us live every Wednesday night, probably at 8 o'clock. Facebook.com/Bourbon Zeppelins.
David.
You should
Jeremy.
mute that.
I'm going to mute that.
We're gonna get.
I thought you were going to say Facebook time.
On Facebook time. Nope. Facebook.com/Bourbon Zeppelins. If you're watching this on Facebook and you like this and you want to help us out, you could go to YouTube and just search for Bourbon and Zeppelins and subscribe to our channel.
We can legitimize our
We're still 88 subscribers away. We've been 88 subscribers away for months now.
Do we have 12?
Yeah, we're at 12. So we need 100 subscribers, I think, to be able to change it. I'm not even sure. They keep changing the rules.
They change the rules so often.
So I think if we get to 100 subscribers, we can actually give our channel a name, like have like a custom URL. But anyways, yeah, go do that if you haven't done that already. That would be cool. If you want to follow us on Twitter, I don't know why you would, because I honestly never really tweet on that account. Twitter.com/BNZ show, or BNZ if you're American.
If you're in the States.
If you're American. And on Instagram, we are Bourbon and Zeppelins. At Bourbon and Zeppelins. Same as Facebook, because, you know, they're the same company.
Does Zuckerberg know that?
No, not according to his testimony. He does not. So there's been a lot going on. We've been gone for 3 weeks. Jeremy was out of town 1 week, and I think I had like a plague or something. It was something gross last week, so I didn't feel like doing a show either of those weeks. So no show for 2 weeks. So we're back now. What's new with you?
My car is still out of commission. But at least the project is expanding. As I was pulling apart,
That's not good.
brittle things were breaking a little bit, so we're upgrading more parts than originally planned.
Cool. So what was the original issue again?
The original issue was that the timing belt slipped.
Right. You had the bad
And
time.
so, although
Hi, Pam.
I might not have to rebuild the head after all. We'll see. It looks like all the valves are closed right now, so maybe I didn't bork up as much as I thought. But anyway, there's a ton of custom parts that are all on their way from various online retailers.
Cool.
We're making everything pretty in there, but it's going to take a while. I took out the bike for the first time today.
Oh, nice.
Went for a spin.
I saw a couple guys riding downtown earlier this week. Or no, last week, I guess.
It was a little chilly, but I had like full-on ballistic
Monday,
stuff,
yeah.
riding gear on, so actually I wasn't particularly cold.
I don't have enough warm weather gear I've got
the full set.
I've got
Yep.
like a jacket, that's like not, that's pretty closed off to the wind, not windproof obviously, but not all vented up. I've got like the pants with the windbreaker liner inside of it.
Not the chaps.
I do not have the chaps. I have an interesting thing to talk about. It's not that interesting. But when I was looking for riding pants, what I really wanted was leather riding pants, right? But not like the racing pants. Like I don't need that in my life.
You wanted the assless chaps.
But not. I just wanted like a pair. So here's what I wanted. Ideally, the design was, and we should maybe kickstart this because this is a great idea.
Riding gear? Yeah.
It's leather overpants with a full-length zip up the side, and it covers your crotch and your butt. So they just look like jeans, but with zippers down the side of the legs the whole way.
Could they be so they could be like tearaway letter riding pants?
You obviously don't want tearaway when you're talking about riding pants. But I'd gone to like a biker, like a hardcore biker store because they have leather pants. And I was like, you guys have like leather overpants? And they're like, we have chaps. And I was like, is that going to protect my crotch if I crash? He's like,
nope.
Oh, definitely not. And I was like, well, then why would I buy that?
Really, if you crash, as you're flying through the air, you're a little bit sort of in like the fetal-ish position.
Sure, but I've seen people land on their butt.
Yeah, skid on your butt. That's true. And like ballistic pants, like full padding and Kevlar inserts for your butt too. Butt, knees, shins.
Yeah. Like I've got very protective riding pants, but I just wanted like some some leather ones because I just sort of trust leather in my head more than textiles. And I don't know that that's necessarily the case anymore. Like maybe 20 years ago, definitely. But I mean, textiles have come a long way. So
material engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, took a bike out today and was pretty warm, and it was like only just above freezing today. So
yeah,
so it wasn't bad.
I used to years ago. I used to ride when it was like 5 above, 8 above, something like that. Like that was sort of like my limit.
8 is the switch between like warm riding and like you have to dress for the weather.
Yeah.
Riding, right? Above 8, and you can get away with like just jeans. You're okay with.
Yeah.
Below that, like have something that's going to protect you from the wind for sure.
For sure, but I'm a big wuss now. It's got to be double digits at least, otherwise not at least. If it's triple digits, I'm definitely not riding.
I mean,
because the world is on fire. I think.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
I'm encouraged to ride now because we're down to like a one vehicle or one car household right now, and it's becoming a little cumbersome. So I'm pushing the bike a little bit so I can have my freedom again.
That's fair.
Yeah, that would be nice. So, anyway, what have you been up to?
Man, buying stuff and returning stuff to the store, basically. So, at home, I started getting more into my...
Have you been talking to my wife?
My audio setup? No, I have not been talking to your wife. And if I had, I wouldn't tell you.
True story, I suppose, but that's exactly how she does that. Sorry, that's how she comes home with like 3 things, and I'll just return 2.
Yeah. My wife does that too.
It must be so nice to have all of this free time that you can just go and return like the things that you bought with the intention of returning them.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it only takes a minute. Sometimes depends where you buy your stuff from.
Including the driving.
Well, anyway, sorry. Usually I'm going to go there and get something else anyway, right? But anyway, I built... I sort of changed my audio setup in my office. So I have like a whole bunch of like little sort of synthy things and guitars and basses and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I used to have everything set up on like a not a countertop, but like a dresser essentially, like shelves. That's the word I'm looking for. Shelves on a shelving unit. I had everything sort of set up there, and then I would record there. And then a few months ago, I was just like, I'm not really using this stuff as much as I want to be, and so I reorganized my whole office and sort of packed everything away, so I wasn't even really using any of it. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I need to get back into like making music and doing audio stuff. And so I cleaned out the closet in my office, and I've converted that into sort of like a micro recording studio. So I put like a little coffee table in there and a shelf, and I've got all of my gear in there. And so as I need it, I just sort of plug it, like hook it up, and I can record and stuff. So what I was doing was I bought a new mixing board.
Right.
And I got this nice, big, fancy 12-channel... Mackie.
Yeah,
USB
I remember. It was
thing.
the one that I want.
Yeah, it's really nice. And the thing is, if you're only recording one instrument at a time, which is what happens when you're alone, you don't really need 12 channels, first of all. And then secondly, whatever was going on, I had this terrible, terrible hiss. Anything that I would record had this awful hiss on it. Anything I would listen to, like not even like the DAW, but even like YouTube videos or iTunes or whatever, everything had a hiss coming through, like going through the board and then into my headphones, right? And I could not get rid of it for like 4 days, and eventually I was just like, I don't think I need this anyway, so put that back. But anywho, so that's what I've been doing is cleaning out my office, reorganizing it.
Buying things.
Returning things. I'm going to go buy some more things on Friday, probably.
I want to buy things, yeah.
I want to get this, so I have this giant drum kit in my house that I don't have room, like I don't have set up anymore because I had it set up in my basement, and then I sort of reorganized my basement, and I sort of put it away in the corner. But it's like really big. It's like a 6-piece kit with, actually it's probably, hold on. So I have kick, snare, 1, 2... Yeah, it's like a 7-piece kit. It's got like a 22-inch kick drum. Like it's huge. it's a massive drum kit. But
Okay.
So what I wanted to do was just get this little adapter where you can take one of your floor toms and turn it into a kick,
Yeah.
and then just record stuff just with that tiny kick and a snare and a hi-hat.
Okay.
And so I gotta like get the parts together for that. I need to buy like I might have to buy an adapter. I might actually have the adapter on a different drum that I can move onto my floor tom. And then you buy this jungle kit thing, and it just sort of you replace the legs in your floor tom, so they're like bass spurs, and they go out and down to the ground while it's sideways.
Yeah.
And then you can hook your pedal up to the little thing that goes into the hole on the adapter for the floor tom.
Right.
Yeah, and then you
Okay.
can just kick that way.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've got to order one of those, I think. But,
What are you going to do with all the big stuff?
I'm keeping it. I offered to my wife to sell
Oh, yeah.
it because I hadn't been using it. For
Right.
It's been in the corner for like 2 years or something, or a year and a half anyway. And she was like, "No, just keep it," because it is like a really nice drum kit. And in the
Dave was in
future-
band, by the way. Just in junior high, not in high school.
Yeah, I was in band.
We were in
junior
band
high.
together in junior high.
I played the tuba.
I played the trumpet.
And then when I was a kid, like a littler kid, I played the organ. I took organ lessons when I was like 6 or 7 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
But I can't. I can sort of fudge my way through chords, but I'm not too great at it anymore.
I can still play piano, but I did piano all
And I can sort
the
of.
growing up days.
And I'm actually in a band. I'm in like a garage band now, but we don't play as often as we used to, so it's sort of hard to say that I'm in a band. But we are
Hard to
going to
say you're
be.
a band.
We are jamming on Saturday, I think. So
I'm out of town again on Saturday.
I wasn't inviting anybody to watch us because we haven't played since last year sometime. So we used to play weekly.
Yeah.
Did I tell you how I don't know if I've told anyone the band story, but 10 years ago, when Aaron and I got married, one of our wedding gifts was Rock Band, which
The video game.
yeah, which I had put on the list because I wanted Rock Band, and I was like, why not put it on the list? So someone got it for us, and
how weddings work.
and so so I sort of learned how to play the drums on Rock Band, and I'd gone to a house party of an old friend who I hadn't seen in. Man, it was probably pushing like 8 years at the time, something like that. And anyway, so I wound up at like his birthday party, and in his basement, he's got a drum kit. Like it's like a whole stage. Like he's got right. So he's got like a drum kit and amps and monitors and lights and like a offstage mixing board. And you can like record and stuff there. And
Yeah.
and so he's friends with like a lot of local musicians who are in like actual gigging bands and stuff.
Right.
And so they were just jamming, all these guitar players and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, we need someone to play the drums. Can anyone play the drums? And I was like, I play Rock Band drums. And they were like, good enough. So I was like, got up there and I was like, okay, I can play like a basic drum beat, which is kind of all, to be honest, that's kind of all you ever need to know. I mean, unless you're playing like prog rock, but for most,
Right.
For a lot of like, let's jam along to this rock song. Your basic
can do
4/4, you're good.
You're all right.
Anyway, so the bass player who was playing that night, he was like, hey, I have a jam every Friday night. You should come and play the drums with us because, you're not terrible. And I was like, I'll take it. And so I was going there every Friday night for like probably 2 years. And that was like how I learned how to play the drums, was just like in a live band setting, week in and week out. And then we had a bit of a falling out with our bass player, and we sort of moved to another location without him. And then we were jamming kind of more monthly, and then it became more quarterly.
Quarterly.
Now it's like
Every fiscal quarter.
It's like every 6 months now we get together and jam. We'll do like a July jam and a Christmas jam usually, and we're getting together. Yeah, I guess we're doing it still quarterly.
I was going to say we're neither Christmas nor July.
No, you are. That is true. But I think we might have.
See, I'm paying attention.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so I am sort of technically kind of in a band, but we just don't play out. And I play
Thanks for
drums in
reminding
that
me, Pam.
band, and sometimes I didn't even see that one. I skipped that one. I saw the hello and you should have been in the band, Dave. And then I got distracted. So I was like, hey, let's talk about me.
And I saw drinks, and
one of us is on the ball, which is good. All right, so
hand off from time to time.
a lot of things have happened in the last 3 weeks in the news.
They're sometimes out of focus.
We're not. Yeah, the autofocus is a little slow, so if I move a little too fast, it gets a little blurry sometimes. Actually, probably.
I thought that was just my eyes.
It was probably when you stood up that it got a little blurry.
That could be. All right.
Yeah. Anyways, a lot of things have happened in the last few weeks, so we're not going to talk about a lot of it.
Most of them.
A lot of it's depressing. I will say this in the last few weeks.
That's what this is about. Yeah.
In the last few weeks, last couple weeks, I've actually been pretty happy.
Is it because we haven't done this show?
Because I haven't had to think about politics, and politics is super frustrating. I will say.
Kind of is right now. I've kind of had it with politics pretty much across the board. That apparently they're all children, and nobody can adult.
It's so divisive right now, and just nobody's willing to compromise. And we're going to get into a little bit more of that in a bit about compromise and who's not willing to do that. Anyway, so the first thing we're going to talk about today is helmets. Jeremy and I both ride motorcycles, and this sort of popped up a couple weeks ago, I think.
So, for all of you who are outside of, is this Alberta wide or?
This is Alberta.
This is Alberta because
it's the third province to do this. So it's already happened in BC, and I don't actually know what the second one was. BC, I knew for sure.
I don't know.
Anyway, so they changed the helmet laws in Alberta.
Manitoba.
Oh, okay, so it's BC and Manitoba. So they changed the helmet laws in Alberta. So Sikhs or Sikhs, I don't really. I think it's.
Is it Sikhs?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Sikhs no longer have to wear a helmet when they ride if they have a turban on. What do you think about that?
Me personally, I don't care.
Okay.
I'm going to keep wearing a helmet because it keeps my brains inside my skull.
Okay.
And I've had motorcycle accidents and would be dead if I weren't wearing a helmet. I think it's silly to not wear a helmet, but again, I'm not in charge of anybody but me. The question here, Pam has an opinion. Yeah, definitely tell us your opinion, Pam. Everybody is allowed to have one.
Yeah.
The question here is why there's legislation, how legislation ties in with this. It's not my job to make legislation, so it's kind of no skin off my back, but I'm interested how in sort of that this is sort of setting a hierarchical precedent here that if you have a religious belief about something, it trumps other laws,
potentially.
Right? Yeah. So that's, to me, what I'm seeing them do is stack these things up in order of which ones have to be obeyed.
Right. I mean, this is sort of this goes back years. If you look at the RCMP thing, right? Back when they changed the rule about the hats, right? Like you used to have to wear the Mountie hat. I don't know what that's called. And then they were like, well, if you're a Sikh, you can wear a turban. And I remember Canada freaked out about that.
Went ballistic.
Lost their minds.
I appreciate that one because the hat that the Mounties wear, it's not a piece of protective
it's not
equipment.
Protective, right? So
in this vein, do Sikhs have to wear hard hats on construction sites?
I honestly don't know.
Is that
presumably they do. Because
why?
Well, I don't.
Doesn't their freedom of religion trump if it trumps the Traffic Act, surely silly not legally binding things it should be able to override.
Well, see, here's the thing, right? So the thing with a private business is they can say wear the hat, wear the hard hat, or you just don't have a job
work here. Yeah,
you know.
That's discrimination though, and they can be taken to court for that.
Potentially, and I
You
don't
know,
know.
playing-
I don't
playing
know.
devil's advocate here, and-
No, absolutely. Like I get
Yeah,
what
right.
you're saying, right? Like I guess there is potential for that, and honestly, I don't know, right?
The piece here that I would, the next logical piece that I think could, probably will, and I think should happen is if you are not going to wear a helmet, I think that should affect your insurance rates.
Yeah. So I imagine you, like me, have spent a fair amount of time on motorcycle forums on the internet. And from time to time, you see the helmet debate come up because there are a lot of people.
Well, there's lots of places in North America
Lots
where you
of places
don't
in
have
North
to.
America where you just don't have to wear a helmet.
Right.
It's like a state by state thing in the States, and they're like, I think it's like
Yep.
South Dakota or one of the Dakotas. You don't have to wear a helmet, another one you do, or whatever. At any rate, so you always see the debate about like whether you should or you shouldn't. And one of the big arguments that people make about people should have to wear helmets beyond the whole safety thing is the insurance thing. Right. I mean, especially in the States because of the way their healthcare system works. And,
Yeah.
And like, so for them, it's all about being insured. And, like,
Because most of them aren't.
right. So you're right. So if you're riding a motorcycle and you get injured in the States, you need to have that insurance. Otherwise, you're screwed. And, so and the way insurance tables work, if you have a lot of people getting injured on motorbikes, whether they're wearing a helmet or not, other motorcycle riders, their rates will be directly affected by that. And so that is always the argument in the States. And it doesn't really hold as much water, that particular argument. But in Canada, just the way the healthcare system works. But I do sort of agree with you. Like if you're not going to wear a helmet, and I honestly like outside of their like I have a friend who wants to ride a motorbike, and he's a Sikh, and he was actually really disappointed that he was going to have to wear a helmet. Like he didn't want to take his turban off to put on it. And I was like, I'm like, I get where you're coming from, but
absolutely.
But I'm like, look, man, I've ridden on highways. Like I've never had like a real serious crash, right?
Man,
but I've ridden in highways, and I've had bees ping off my visor. I've had rocks get thrown from trucks and ping off my visor. I can't imagine taking that. Like I've got it in the shin. Through pads, like I was wearing padded pants, like a padded shin guard, and you can feel it, like a rock, right? And I'm just like, I don't understand how anyone rides without a full face helmet. I do not get it.
I don't get that at all.
I rode. The only time I've ever done it was I rode around. My bike was parked in the front of my house, and I was just I'm too lazy to get my helmet. And I just hopped on and I rode it to the back of my house, and that was it. And I felt like really weird the whole time. Like it's
for sure.
Like it's like hopping in a car and not buckling up my seatbelt. Like I just feel weird doing it.
Yeah. Just because you always do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, Heather and I hit a deer on the highway on a bike, and you look at our helmets after that, and we'd be dead if we hadn't had the helmets on. Like so. Now. You can take that further and say, okay, well, should you always be riding with leathers? What happens if you don't have proper gloves on? What happens if you don't have what's to say what proper riding gear is? I think
For sure.
I think there is sort of like this common sense standard that a helmet is necessary. Because your head is kind of a important part of your body. I don't know. I think there are weird things afoot in Canadian politics. And just for like a really fun question here, if it were a different religion, would it get the same traction?
I think it depends on the problem, or not the problem, but like the issue is you just can't put a helmet over a turban, right?
Right.
And it's hard to think of another religion where there's like that headgear
I get
that you can't just pop a helmet over top of.
I mean, I guess my whininess right now is that Muslims and Sikhs seem to be being treated, up on a shelf with, very delicate gloves, whereas Christians don't necessarily get the same.
Well, I just think it's I mean, just in this case, I don't think it's a really great analogy, just because it's like the headgear thing, right?
This
so,
one
like,
wouldn't,
I'm just
but
saying, like, if Christians had
some sort
big
of
hats,
yeah,
that they had to keep on all the time,
right?
Maybe it would be because I do feel as though there is a lot of like a big push for freedom of religion in Canada, North America generally.
But I feel like that push is, and again, being a Christian, being inside of that bubble, I'm not sure if I'm perceiving this, sort of as a poor me part, or if that's, or if it's legitimately a lopsided push for freedom of religion.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I'm on the outside looking in, so from my perspective, I don't see anyone stopping you from doing something because you're a Christian. You know what I mean?
What about...
like maybe I'm wrong.
Well, a good point that I think a lot of Christians are going to be concerned about are if they, especially like Christian pastors, if they don't agree with same-sex marriage, should they be forced to perform same-sex ceremonies? That's
a tough question to answer, but I am of the opinion that no, they shouldn't be forced to.
I hope you're not, but I'm worried that you might be in the minority there. And I agree,
I think I am in the minority.
Yeah, and that is where I feel like there's a lopsided push for freedom of religion, where, like,
well, yeah, but I think it would be the same thing if it was like, if you were Muslim and you wanted to have a same-sex marriage and they said no, they would probably also force them. Like if they were forcing like Christians to do it, I feel like they would also force Muslims to do it. I don't know because we haven't put it to the test.
It's true, yeah. Well,
but I feel like they would.
Maybe. I don't know that you ever go to an imam and ask him to perform.
Well, honestly, I don't know.
So anyway,
right? But they do some sort of marriage ceremony, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't just show up and then they're going to be like, oh, hold on, this is...
Yeah, I think...
This is a homosexual ceremony?
I think right now... homosexuals would be too afraid to show up in a Muslim.
Yeah, like I don't know, right? Like it's hard to say. It probably depends on the mosque or whatever.
Yeah,
because there's more progressive ones. Because I mean, they just recently, like even like having like a female imam is a big deal.
Oh yeah, I probably suppose it would be.
Yeah, I just heard about a few months ago. I honestly don't remember where it is. I think it's. I want to say it's in New York or something like that, where there's like a mosque with a female imam, and like a lot of people are really happy about it, and a lot of people are really upset about it, just like anything.
Interesting. Okay.
Right, but I mean that I think there was like a similar thing when it became like female pastors or female.
It depends. It depends which denomination.
Right.
You're
so you're going to
about.
see you're going to see some people who are like really sort of more orthodox, hardcore about it, and be like, no, this is
isn't
an abomination,
right.
Right? And then you're going to have other people who are like, finally, some progressive thought maybe or whatever, right? Like,
it'll be interesting as we continue to move forward in these weird and wacky times.
Anyway, so I was looking up the hard hat thing.
Yeah, and
I just
also
can't find an answer. Definitely, people complained about it though.
What about hijabs or burqas? Do they have to wear helmets, or is it just if you claim to be a Sikh?
I believe it's only for turbans.
Well, that's not fair.
Yeah.
I
don't actually know.
That's actually a really interesting question.
I don't actually know the answer to that. I believe it's just for turbans, but I could be wrong.
Well, I would expect that you're right, because I would expect the solution to be incomplete.
Yeah,
if coming from this government,
so the people who were asking for the change were Sikhs. Right? And so they went, okay. And so, that's just sort of how it is, right? Like, if you don't ask for something as a group, you won't get something.
Right. Yeah, true. And I believe they're corn rows, not corn rolls.
What about cornrows? You can put a helmet over cornrows.
Not if they're really thick. Maybe.
I think you can.
Can you claim their turban?
Probably not. It would also have to be a religious thing. You'd also have to, claim that you're a Sikh. And you could be, right? But if in that case, you'd also be wearing an actual
Can you claim
turban.
to be a Sikh, not wear a helmet, and not wear a turban?
Probably not.
Why not?
Sikh? I'd
I'd
have to read the rules.
That would be great if
pretty
the legislation was actually that Sikhs don't have to wear helmets. Then all you have to do is claim that you're a Sikh.
I don't think that's the actual
come on.
rule.
Hang on. Do we know?
I gotta find words.
Yeah, it just says private member bills, which would exempt Sikh motorcycles. Has urged us to blah blah blah.
Well, I disagree with this guy.
You disagree with that guy?
No, sorry, I'm just reading a quote from some other guy, but I just don't agree with his stance on it. Alberta to allow turban-wearing Sikhs the right to ride motorcycles. Well, that's a headline, so maybe that's a spin. Well, all the headlines I'm seeing say turban-wearing Sikhs.
Now, having said that, I would also let me also qualify this whole thing and say I would find it really offensive for someone to say that they were a Sikh just so that they wouldn't have to.
Oh no, yeah, no, me too.
I just in case there's any question about that.
Yeah. Although I would be curious to see how many riders in Alberta, who those guys that wear those dot-approved little half
the skull caps. Yeah.
How many of them are Googling how to convert to Sikhism?
Yeah. And I'll probably should have prefaced this story with this, but we'll post what do you call things that you say after that should have been anyway?
Updates, retractions, corrections.
No,
apologies.
We're not at that stage yet. We might be next week, but yeah, I would say none of this is having a problem with the Sikh religion or faith group.
Yeah, I have so the reason I actually remembered this story and put it on this week because it is a little bit old.
It's a little bit old.
I did have. So I've got my right-wing buddies on Facebook, my alt-right-wing buddies who like to share all their terrible memes. And a really racist one was going around about this one in particular.
What?
Yeah. So there are people who are upset about this and do see it as discrimination against white people.
It's not discrimination when...
I need to be real clear here that I'm making quotes when I say that, and I don't actually think that. But that was basically what the meme was.
It would be discrimination if white people...
Again, big air quotes. Just in case you're not actually looking at us, or you're visually impaired or something.
It would be discrimination if white people had to wear a second helmet.
Yeah, or
something happened to them, but nothing's happening to us.
Or we all had to wear turbans or something like that.
Instead. Yeah. Oh, that would be discriminatory, where we have to change based on something that we don't believe.
Yeah. But there are a lot of people. Like I say, there are a lot of people who do wish they could ride without a helmet, and so they look at this and go, "Oh."
And half of me thinks go for it. Let's weed them out of the population. I just don't want to pay for their healthcare bills afterward. That's horrible to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So next story.
Pipelines.
We still don't have one.
Nope. So there's more going on. I'm not even displaying this stuff. Pam, since you're probably the only person watching, or anybody who's watching, let us know if you actually like me showing, switching the view so we show the...
Because we still don't have a producer.
The thing. So I just try to sort of make it easy for me. And so I have the article up so Jeremy and I know what we're talking about. But since we just talk about it anyway,
so we have the gist of what we're talking
well,
about.
so we know what topic we're on, not so we know
right.
what we're talking about, because we
Yes.
clearly don't know what we're talking about. So more pipeline stuff. Still no pipeline. Horgan, Premier Horgan of the BC government.
Not Horton, because that's a Dr.
Not
Seuss
Horton
character.
and not Hogan, not a pro wrestler. Horgan is pushing back on the pipeline, says no, not going to happen. The federal government said, but you have to let it happen. And they were like, no, we don't have to do that. Notley has threatened to pass. I don't even understand how this works. I didn't actually read anything, obviously. So they want to pass legislation that will raise the price of gas in BC, and I'm not entirely sure how they do that.
No. They don't pass legislation that raises the gas. They pass legislation that enables Alberta to reduce the amount of export.
Actually going to BC?
Oil and gas export that goes to BC.
Oh, see, that makes way more sense. The way it's been explained, like anything you hear on the radio is like, Alberta's going to pass legislation to raise the price of gas in BC, and I was
what radio
like,
are you listening to?
CBC. I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, how can we do that? Like, clearly, if you've watched this show before, you know I don't have a real solid grasp on governance in this country. But I'm just like, this makes no sense to me at all.
We have about the same grasp on governance as the government does. There are plenty of people in like academia that understand governance, but we don't, and the government, we're not in that camp. Anyway, it's legislation which I didn't understand, what kind of control we have right now at this point in time. To curtail exports. Apparently we need like more I don't know. I don't understand. Like, it's Alberta legislation that's letting us like pick.
Yeah, right. Like, it's still weird that we can pass legislation that so directly affects another province.
Anyway,
so the other thing that came up was Alberta, our government, Notley, and even the opposition, Kenny, has agreed that this is a path that we should consider taking, is investing public money into the Kinder Morgan pipeline, into the Trans.
Yeah, and that's
project.
Basically giving Kinder Morgan a bunch of money just to not cancel.
Yeah,
the project.
Please don't pull out.
We'll give you money.
Please don't sue us. So, because that's a real, if you don't know, like, that is actually a legitimate threat. So let's say the pipeline doesn't go through.
And the project gets canceled.
Right. Project gets canceled. Kinder Morgan has invested a ton of money in this. They've jumped through all of the governmental regulations, and they've been approved. Like, that is, they have the Canadian government
prudential stamp of approval.
Yeah.
They've got the federal stamp of approval.
Yeah. So if it doesn't go through, but they could legitimately sue governments, Alberta's, BC's, just the federal government, in order to recoup lost monies. And that would be a lot of money because it's an oil pipeline. And they've already invested a lot of money in getting to the point where they're at now.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but we're not exactly flush with a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
So do you realize how bad that would be? Because one, the budget that was just proposed in Alberta is heavily dependent on the revenues from the Kinder Morgan pipeline.
Yeah.
Like, basically, that's
the
lion's share.
To be fair, when they were making that budget, they were like, oh yeah, this is going through.
Right.
we can depend on this.
Yeah, well, the federal government said, yes, it's going through.
Yeah.
So you'd think that. But the point is that all of the money, all of the revenues that Alberta is supposedly supposed to be getting is dependent on this pipeline actually happening. Whereas if it doesn't, not only does that revenue not happen, but we're going to get sued by Kinder Morgan to give them even more of the money that we don't have. And the deficit that's pretty horrible even in the budget that we have is going to be even bigger. And I'm moving to Australia. There you have it, folks. And
I actually heard this really good thing on the radio today where someone broke down exactly what all the governments need to do, and I was going to repeat it, and I've completely forgotten what it was. But it was a really good idea, whoever they were talking to.
Did it have anything to do with banning wine?
No, it had nothing to do with banning wine. It had nothing to do with this legislation to like raise the price of gas in BC. It was like something entirely different. I don't remember what it was. But basically, so like Kinder Morgan is sort of given, I think like a 6-week deadline for us to fix everything.
Yeah, it's
So the reality is, BC is not going to change their mind in 6 weeks. It's not going to happen. I don't think.
what new things would happen that?
Well, like they're sort of hoping that look at how bad it's going to be with the price of gas. It's already $1.50 a liter in Vancouver. Imagine if it's $2 in Vancouver and $1.50 everywhere else.
They don't seem to be able to comprehend these things.
Right. So the issue kind of is just the way the government is divvied up in BC, right? Because the NDP is kind of in power because the 3 seats of the Green Party allow them to be. Because they side with them, right? And so the trade-off is we'll vote with you on other stuff, but you got to give us the pipeline,
Right.
So as soon as so the guy's hands are sort of tied politically, right? Where he's like, like if I sort of let's say do the right thing and let the pipeline actually go through, I lose those 3 seats, and now I am very much a minority government, and nothing will get passed potentially.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And that is a problem for a government. So I get why they are afraid to push back against the Greens, but I mean at some point, something's got to happen. So there's an unwillingness to compromise.
When's the next BC election? Not that that's going to save the pipeline. I'm just.
I think they just had one. Like
no, that was
year.
no. That it was just before that.
I thought it was after the Alberta election.
I think you might be right. But we're coming up next year on our. Was it last May?
That sounds right. I feel like it just happened.
Yeah. So when did it happen that? Okay, so they're not okay. Whatever. I was just daydreaming because Ontario's is coming up.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. So Doug Ford's catching flack. He's got someone in his party running for something who has like a bunch of like anti-Muslim, Hang
on, Doug Ford has someone running with him?
No, sorry, like someone in the PC. So he's like the head of the PC party. So there's like someone in the PC party who's running somewhere, and but they have like a ton of anti-Islamic and a bunch of homophobic tweets and stuff like that.
Well, that's dumb.
And so he's being asked to like tell her to not run, basically.
It's a her?
Yeah.
Ontario is so weird. Okay.
Well, like you look at like some hardcore, very right-wing people. A lot of them are women because they can also be very bigoted. Tommy Lauren, Ann Coulter, whoever this lady is in Ontario, whose name
whoever this lady is in Ontario. Yeah. Okay. So
it's not just men that can be frustratingly bigoted.
News to me. Yeah, I was just daydreaming that Ontario goes PC this year, and then next year Alberta and the country go PC, and then BC follows suit and goes PC next time they come up, and maybe we can fix this mess.
Why would you want that? Like PCs that sounds terrible for people.
But really good for the economy.
I don't care. I don't care.
I don't know if you know this, but without an economy, people starve and freeze and die.
Only because we let them. Because we think we're capitalists and we don't want to share our money with people. This is the problem.
People don't want to share money with people. If society were made up of like something other, if society were made up of puppies, we'd have no problem whatsoever.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, selfish people are a problem. And the PC party, generally speaking, is made up of selfish people who believe that everything needs to be monetized.
See, whereas I would say that selfish people is redundant.
Let me see. I don't look at it that way. I think we can. I think we can get past a level of selfishness. We need to be willing to help one another, and I don't. I realize I'm speaking really broadly. I understand I'm speaking very broadly here.
And me too.
Yeah, like, I know you are, and I know you know I am. But I just want people who are watching to know that we are both speaking very broadly.
These are broad generalizations, and this again comes down to like the crux of where this whole like debate and Bourbon and Zeppelins and the whole concept comes from is that we have fundamentally different ideas about what society at large. What their nature is, and
well, like
what it needs.
Don't get me wrong. Like I understand there are tons of horrible people, but I think it's the kind of thing that can be overcome.
Right, and I'm the exact opposite, where I'm like, I think there are tons and tons of wonderful, benevolent people, but I think that our selfish nature can't be overcome on an institutional level.
Right.
And we can explore more of that later.
See, like these last couple weeks, like I was saying, I've been so relaxed these last couple of weeks, not thinking about politics. And I'm just kind of at the point, like, I sort of miss, like the old me from like
junior high.
Well, even like 10 years ago, where I just didn't.
Junior high was way more than 10
No,
years
I know,
ago.
but I'm just saying, like even like 10 years ago, where I just kind of didn't care about politics. Like I mean, I did to an extent, but now it's like I feel like everything's. I feel like you got to pick a side now. Like everyone's forced into it, right? But I also kind of cynical Dave is just like it kind of doesn't matter. Like life's going to go on regardless of who's in power, and as long as they aren't doing anything like rounding people up and like imprisoning people for whatever religious beliefs or whatever, the color of their skin, that sort of thing, then I kind of don't care.
Yeah, and I think society at large has started caring too much. Really,
about politics.
About too many things. They care too much about too many things.
Yeah, I mean...
in other people's backyards.
Yeah.
I think is where the problem really comes in. You can believe passionately with something yourself. And I think when you're trying to promote ideas or actions, or you're trying to influence other people, it should only ever be in positive ways. So encouraging them to do something, not getting angry at them for not doing something. No, hang on.
Not getting angry at them when you're trying to. What you're saying is, if you're trying to persuade somebody, don't be a yelly jerk about it.
Well, that too. No, but my point was, instead of saying don't do this, or trying to stop people from doing something, encourage them to do something more towards what you're trying to.
The problem is though, like if you're talking about like larger cultural change type things, like if you look at like Black Lives Matter. Actually, there's an interesting story about Black Lives Matter that I didn't put in here, but we'll talk about it briefly. So if you look at like Black Lives Matter, basically their message is please stop being racist, right? Boiling that down there, right? But there are a lot of people who are just like, they feel, and I think this goes beyond like how the message is being presented to them, but they just, they feel as though there isn't really a problem with society right now, and you're just telling me to, to stop thinking a certain way because your feelings are hurt or whatever, right?
Okay.
And so I'm just saying that there are people who, even if you're asking them to do something like be more inclusive, they feel as though they're being asked not to do something. So it's as nice as it is to say ask people to do something as opposed to not do something. Yeah. Sometimes asking them to do something is interpreted as asking them to not do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like that was really convoluted.
It was, but I kept up with you barely.
Good. I don't want to try to parse that again.
Yeah, and you're right. And Pam gets the example, walking feet, please, instead of don't run. And that's actually fits really closely into this. If you say walking, and you're like telling people walking, it's really easy to interpret that as don't run. Yeah. And there's like some...
but I will say, if you present it better, Like if you go walk
Well-
please, and then they don't walk immediately, and you start screaming at them to not run. That's one of my little bugaboos.
And Pam points out as well, PC believes the decision on how to spend people's money should be theirs, not the government's.
Yeah, I sort of disagree.
And
to an extent,
the government should tell you how to spend your money?
some of it,
Yeah.
some of it,
Yeah, and I'll agree with some of it.
right? Because I go back to
Yeah.
like a more tribal government where it's like this guy has a bunch of bananas and this guy has no bananas because he was sick, so let's share bananas with everybody to make sure that everyone makes it through the winter. Type
Okay,
thing, right?
See, and I look at that and I expect the more common scenario to be this guy has lots of bananas because he busted his butt and farmed lots of bananas, and this guy has no bananas because he was surfing the entire summer.
Right, and see, that's a weird sort of way to look at it, I think, right? Because, like, yes, there
Who was sick
are.
the entire time and couldn't grow any bananas?
What if they had a broken leg and they couldn't go harvest stuff, right? And so they were, healing. They missed the whole harvest season because they were laid up with a
Right.
broken leg for 6 weeks, right? So now they've got no bananas. Right, but you don't let you don't let someone in your village die just because they had a broken leg.
I agree, but do you let them die if they obstinately decided to surf instead of helping with the banana harvest?
I mean, how often does that happen? Is the question, right? Like
true.
like you're looking.
How often does
like,
it happen that you break your leg?
Yeah, people never break their legs. I'm just saying, like there are people who have like legitimate reasons why they can't, quote unquote, contribute to the economy in some way, right?
Yeah.
And so those people need help. And the problem, I think, they're not the problem, but like one of the issues that I have with the PC party is they choose to look at it as though there's too many lazy people who are freeloading, and they're not looking at the people who legitimately need help. And
Right.
yes, there are people who will try to take advantage, but that's not a reason to make everyone else suffer.
Yeah, and I think we would both agree that the best solution is somewhere in the middle, right? Like definitely, you make sure you take care of the people that can't take care of themselves.
Yeah. Like I'd be all for communism if I didn't believe that leaders were just gonna corrupt the whole system. Right?
What? No, people are like generally good, aren't they? He said sarcastically and facetiously.
Hey, you're the one who said most people are good. You
No,
said that. You
I
did.
said-
You did. You said, I think most people are good, but there's a selfishness that they can't overcome. That is, which made no sense
No,
at
I
the
said-
time, but I'm
no,
going to
no.
call you out on it now.
We're going to review the tape.
We will.
But certainly, I'll take this moment to retract and
Clarify?
correct. I think there are lots of very benevolent people and lots of people who act against their selfish nature to do good things. But I think the baseline is a broken selfish.
Yeah, but I'm okay with like basically the government trying to force people to do the right thing, like to be more generous. That's the way I sort of look at it, right?
Yeah. I like the idea.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not saying it's perfect.
And maybe the point is that I'm cynical that the government's ever actually knows what the government's made up of the same people as the selfish people who aren't doing the right thing, right?
Oh, for sure.
If we had a system, here's what it is. If we had a system that somehow bubbled into the position of government the people who genuinely had the good intentions and the right answers, that would be wonderful, because then they could enforce being good like them. But we don't have that. We've got a system where the people with the best fundraising skills get elected. And those tend to be the most self-centered.
Yeah, like
horrible
because you
people.
already have a bunch of money and you probably got that.
Yeah,
Because you're not very sherry.
exactly. So, and then you act like in this selfish, jerky way, and because of, not directly because of that, but by extent, as a result of that, you get elected. And Pam and I both think volunteering should be mandatory.
Yeah.
That's something I can get behind, absolutely, for sure.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, anyway.
Voluntolding. Oh, the Black Lives Matter thing. Did you hear about the largest Facebook page? The largest Facebook group for Black Lives Matters wasn't legitimate. It was being run by some Australian dude. And so they were getting all this money for funding stuff. And a lot of it was going to this random Australian dude. Like the largest Black Lives Matters page on Facebook. I don't know if it got shut down. I assume it did because,
Is it too late to start a Black Lives Matter Facebook page?
Probably, and you shouldn't do it anyway because that's gross.
Oh. Black Lives Matters is gross?
Nope. Taking advantage of a movement to profit is gross.
Aha. Yes. Clarified. Declare it today.
Sorry, I said it and I was like, do I need to explain? Yep, I do.
I will make sure of it.
Dude, but that segues very
Speaking
nicely
of Facebook,
into the next thing.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg's been in Congress.
He's been on lots of memes today.
Yes.
Did you know that he's data?
I did. I also know he's a lizard person.
He's a lizard person.
He's a robot. He doesn't feel human emotion. He has a bad haircut, and he sits on a booster seat. Now, I've seen that. I don't know if you've seen the picture of him sitting on the booster seat. It's like just an extra cushion or whatever. I didn't bother to go look to see if I could find. I guess I should probably put this picture up for everybody.
Yeah, Pam likes seeing the stuff.
Okay, so let me find an image, and I'll.
He is sitting on a booster seat.
Yeah. But
so who bloody cares?
Yeah, there's that. And oh man, what's my key command for that? I think it's that.
Because
got it right. Okay, so he's been sitting on a booster. I don't really know why he is. Maybe he's just short. Like the chair's not adjustable.
Congress has horrible chairs.
Yeah,
That's,
I haven't bothered. Like one of the things, like the first time I saw this, I was like, I should go see if there's any other pictures of anybody else
just thinking
sitting on one of these booster seats because I don't think he's a relatively tall dude.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't get why he would need a booster. Like I think he's like 6 foot. I don't think he's.
Hang on, we're gonna fact check stuff today. We need a producer and we need a fact checker because we say a lot of crap.
We do talk a lot of shit. Mark.
Hang on, I'm looking it up.
You're looking up his height?
I got his height.
Okay, good. I don't have to look it up.
1.71 meters.
So he's just under 6 foot. He's like 5.
Okay. 171 centimeters. Thanks, Google.
5'10", I think.
That's
6.
5.6. So it's just that would be like 5 foot 7 inches.
Wow, he looks taller than that. Maybe he just photographs well.
Just over 5 foot 7 inches.
Okay.
5 foot 7 1/4.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. I'm 188 centimeters, not 180. That's my problem.
I'm 6 foot even.
I'm 6'2".
So I'm taller than Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are. He's below average. Or no, he's average. 5'7", I think, is average for a man.
5'7"?
I think so.
Wow.
Might be a little taller now, but maybe it's 5'8". I don't actually know. I don't know anything that I'm talking about. So he went in front of Congress today, and it was, I don't know if you watched any of it. I watched like a highlight reel. It was like if you had to explain how the internet works to your grandfather.
Yeah.
But you have 20 grandfathers, all asking very confusing questions.
And millions of people watching you.
Yeah, and I had a guy, like he sort of, like, so if you've never seen Mark Zuckerberg do an interview, it is not great.
He's not a great
He's not very personable. Yeah, like I shouldn't say he's not very personable. He's just not a very good public speaker, right? Like that much is very clear. And but he was being asked some pretty ridiculous questions today. So one of the things he was being asked, so someone on his team, I think it might have been his CFO or something like that, was on CNN or some other interview, and she had mentioned that one of the things Facebook was considering was removing, like if you want to not have ads, so you have an ad-free experience on Facebook, you would pay for that, right? And this is very common. You go to a website, you give them money so they don't have to show ads, right?
Yeah.
And so as part of that, like, they don't have to use your information to target ads at you.
Sure.
And the guy who's asking the questions believes that what Facebook wants to do is take ads away, and then in order for them to not sell your information to someone else, you have to pay them to not sell your information. Which I guess is kind of a weird, twisted way of saying the same thing. But the guy was like, so you just don't want to have ads on Facebook, and then if you don't want to sell my information to somebody, I have to pay you? Isn't it my information? And I guess he's kind of not right, but at the same time, I'm like, that's not what's happening here. Facebook isn't holding your information hostage. You're just like, we won't show you ads, and you give us money because we're losing revenue on ads. This is like any other website.
Yeah.
It had to be explained to him like 4 times. And I was like yelling at the TV. I was so angry.
Yeah, he's right, but he's not right, but he's right, but he's not right.
Right? Yeah, actually, as I was explaining it, I was like, wait, that is actually almost an accurate representation of what's happening. But, I mean, it's kind of not, right? Although...
Yeah, no, it's not right. Because Facebook isn't selling the information. Facebook is using the information to
target ads.
And those two, they're absolutely 100% different.
Yeah.
Your information actually never leaves Facebook, with the exception of Cambridge Analytica.
And any other app. Although it's funny, so they just did like a developer update. Like I got the email for that because they think I'm a developer, but they won't let me develop any apps. I'm so frustrated. It's been years I've been trying to get my stupid key,
Facebook,
and they refuse to give it to me.
Hey.
They want like a credit card, and I'm like, I'm not giving you my credit card. I verified myself with my phone, and then they go, you can't have this unless you give me a credit card or verify yourself with your phone. I go, okay, verify me with my phone. And it's just an endless circle I get stuck in. And then I send, and so like every year I sort of go through this rigmarole for like a day, and then I send support an email, and then I never hear anything. And then a year later I try again, same problem. It just doesn't resolve itself. It's been doing this for as long as I've been on Facebook.
You should try it every time your band jabs. You could try it quarterly.
Yeah. That would be much more often than I actually try.
But yeah, like your information doesn't ever leave Facebook.
I think they will sell stuff.
No, you allow by.
No, but I think they actually
will
will sell stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think they will. I think they will sell your information.
Well, while we're making stuff up.
Yeah. Anyway, let's just say they will.
Okay.
Like they certainly buy information, so I don't know. Maybe they don't sell. But yeah,
Anyway.
like it's no different than any other thing where it's like you can have this like an app, right? Like here's ads on your game. You don't want ads in this game? Pay us. Give me $1.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to have ads anymore.
Yeah. All right.
Would you pay for Facebook for an ad-free experience on Facebook?
Nope.
No.
Nope. I would not.
I might. I hate ads. Like I really do. Like a lot of the apps I have on my phone, I get like the pro version because I hate ads.
Yeah, I do on apps on my phone, but Facebook, I feel like
it depends on it depends on the price, right? Like I don't know if I would do like I don't know, if it was like a one-time fee, I'd be fine with it, but if it's like a subscription, which I imagine it would be, I don't know if I would do it. I have like all my privacy settings like completely. Also, you can I found a couple things. I was going through my Facebook settings today.
that was 3 thoughts. Which one are you going to fit us?
The Facebook, it's all the same one.
Okay.
So the Facebook settings, within there, you can adjust whether your information is being used to target ads to you or not. So if you don't like targeted ads, or you don't like the idea of Facebook targeting ads at you based on your information.
Why wouldn't you?
Because I don't want ads targeted at me. I feel used that way. So I feel better about the world when ads aren't targeted specifically to me. I feel as though I'm keeping a piece of myself to myself. And I'm not just giving it away to a corporation. So I changed my settings today, so I will no longer be getting targeted ads on Facebook. And you get it like on other sites too.
Yeah, I feel like I want ads to be relevant.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things Mark Zuckerberg said today. He's like, according to like the studies that Facebook has done, and they are constantly doing studies on you, by the way, whether you know it or not. They found that people, as much as they dislike ads, they have a larger dislike for getting ads that aren't relevant to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And that would be, yeah.
Yeah, and I get that. Like, for a lot of people, that's the case. For me, that's not the case for me. I would rather get...
Yeah, because
I'd rather get irrelevant ads.
Because you feel more anonymous then.
Yeah. And I don't like ads anyway, so...
Yeah, I can... Yeah, because, I mean, if you get targeted ads, you can't yell at your computer, "You don't know me."
True. The other thing that
Pam finds targeted ads kind of amusing. In what way, Pam? Amusing?
Like on a shared computer, it's always fun.
What was that? Oh, there was somewhere. Oh, yeah. Here's a nice little tangent. There's a movie coming out called The Spy Who Dumped Me with Kate McKinnon and girl whose name I forget now. Shoot.
Tina Fey.
Nope.
Amy Poehler.
No, but those are the...
A.D. Bryant.
It's not. It's not an SNL.
Oh. I definitely don't know.
Mia Kunis.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so they're going. There's one scene in the trailer where they're being interrogated, and they start like not Amy Schumer. They start like tattling on each other, and the one goes, "Yeah," and she has fantasies about minions. It's just the one with only one eye. Yeah, she Googled it on my computer once, and now I get very strange ads. And that was not as...
So the other setting that I found is legacy settings, which I thought was... I legitimately, because in my world, legacy just means old code, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, it's weird. It must be like a setting that I made months ago, and now I have the option to change it or something. It is literally for when you die. So you can, if you die, you can choose someone to manage your Facebook profile in perpetuity, or you can have it set up to, automatically delete itself.
How does Facebook know when you die? Facebook knows when you die.
Well, they probably do, but generally speaking, they expect you to send a death certificate to them. Yeah.
If I'm dead, how do I send a death certificate
to
them?
Presumably a loved one will. A loved one who doesn't want to see your Facebook profile anymore.
Can we just start sending some random death certificates into Facebook and see whose accounts get closed out?
I guess. Like, how hard is it to falsify a death certificate? I don't know what level of proof they need, right? So.
I've got Paint. I can make a death certificate.
Probably.
No, Pam, I still have not seen Ready Player One. I very much want to see it.
I think Pam liked it.
Pam, did you see it?
I think she saw it.
Pam, did you see it?
I think I saw a Facebook post about it.
Why didn't I see a Facebook post about it?
Most of my other friends did not enjoy Ready Player One. But
yeah, so
whatever.
They're not good movie buffs. They don't know much about movies. Then I
okay.
don't know. I need.
Possible. I don't want to.
Yeah,
Pam. I shouldn't be saying that. I don't want to skew your opinion.
I
will say this though: if you go in with low expectations, you'll probably really enjoy it.
You can say that of most movies.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? Like,
I get that.
I'm trying to help you enjoy the movie.
Enjoy the movie.
You do go see it.
I appreciate that.
Terrible garbage. You know what I mean? It's probably the worst movie ever made. So just keep your expectations low. Is all I'm saying.
Okay, remind me of that. We're going to segue to that right away.
Good friend. Good friend right here. Helping out a buddy.
Thank you. I'm very confused about going to see it because I know they've changed it from the book a ton. And while I don't like read books, I've listened to Ready Player One.
He puts it in air quotes like he means something other than I don't read.
Because I listen to books. I listen to the audiobook.
I can't do it.
You just need to find like a happy place and do it.
No, because when I read, I get really focused. And if I'm listening to a story, I need to focus on it. So if I'm going to focus, I might as well read. I can't listen and do something else at the same time, except drive. Because who pays attention when they drive anymore?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I listen to audiobooks when I'm driving. And then
Right. I only drive like 10 minutes a day. So it would take me, 8 months to get through a book.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be any good. But I've listened to Ready Player One, the audiobook, which I think I mentioned before is read by Will Wheaton.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me that.
So it's doubly fantastic. And so I know the book actually pretty well. I know a lot of the details in it. So having that they've changed it a ton, I'm scared. But it's Steven Spielberg that made it, and it's gotta be good. I don't know. I'll see it eventually here before too long.
I'll wait till it's on Netflix. Or maybe iTunes. I occasionally rent movies on iTunes.
Oh, never. Anyway, worst movie ever. Have you seen The Room or a trailer? Do you know what the movie The Room is?
Yeah, the Tommy Wiseau movie.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
I watched before it sort of got
curious about seeing
before it got really popular.
Yeah.
I watched like a little mini documentary on it, like a 5-minute thing, and the guy was sort of explaining the whole thing, and I was like, oh, this is sort of neat.
Yeah.
And then I also read an article about it. It was like just as it was starting to become popular, so stuff was popping up, right? And I think it was the article where they explained the writer was like, the first time you watch the movie, don't go watch it in a theater. It's like watch it alone without people who've seen it before, because it's sort of like a whole Rocky Horror thing, right, where there's like stuff that happens, and they're like, if you watch it with those people, you don't really get a good experience of the movie, which is what you should get from The Room. Right. So I haven't seen it yet, and I still haven't seen The Disaster Artist because I haven't watched The Room yet, but I do want to see both. I do like bad cinema. I really do. I like really good cinema too, but I like
bad cinema.
I like stuff that's bad. Like I don't like bad movies. Like they're just movies that are bad. Like Hoodlum, one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Hoodlum.
Alex and Emma, it's like a tie.
Alex and Emma.
Yeah, I think I told you this story.
Why do I know this?
So when Ariana and I first started dating, I was working in a movie theater and I had a pass, like a free pass. Yeah, like everywhere, right? Yep. So she was like, I'd pick a movie, she'd pick a movie, blah, blah, blah. Right. So she picked Alex and Emma, and we were about 20 minutes into the movie, and Ariana was like, this is terrible, let's go. And I was like, no, you picked this. We're going to sit here and we're going to watch it. So we watched through the whole thing, and now I just pick all the movies.
You won.
Yeah. Like, once. One time I won. That's it. I got one in the win column. One W and a bunch of L's. Nah, they're all W's.
I feel like they're all T's. All right.
My wife's not a tease.
Do we want to say anything else about Zuckerberg? He got destroyed. He had to explain to people. People don't really I feel like that's a lot of his life, is trying to explain things to people and them not, like, just him being so far ahead of where they are that he must get frustrated trying to catch people up a lot.
I'd imagine he does.
Like, he's pretty bright. He's got some like big ideas in his head. I guess is what I'm saying. Not necessarily that I, love them all.
We don't
but
have to do this one, by the way. I just sort of threw that in there because I thought it was interesting, but it's not really a news story. If you want to talk about it, we can.
I don't even know what it is.
Okay, it's like a weird conspiracy theory thing.
I love conspiracy theories.
Okay, so
throw this one up there. Let's see what's going on.
Okay, sure. Let me find everything because I've lost everything. I've lost everything.
Your mind?
Definitely that. Okay, so
Rational Wiki.
this is a weird one. I'm not going to lie.
Crap is that?
So this is a thing that I came across the other day. I can't really explain. I don't really remember where it came up. But the Storm is a conspiracy that is really popular with alt-right Trump supporters. And I just thought it was funny and an interesting sort of look at where a lot of Trump supporters are sort of coming from a mental, psychological state, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. But basically, this is a right-wing theory. So you remember Pizzagate? Okay,
No.
for those of you who don't remember Pizzagate, I think it was during the presidential election or maybe right after, but I think it was during. There was this theory being floated around, this rumor being floated around. There was this global pedophile ring that was being run by the Clintons and Podesta, and there was those emails.
Hang on,
remember that.
It
They sort of talk about it briefly in this article.
Yeah, it actually was being run by the Democratic Party, or is this is like
No,
some theory?
No. This is
I'm like-
a crazy. Pizzagate is a different conspiracy theory.
Okay.
And so what happened was they thought it was being the rumor was it was being run out of the basement of Pizza Planet, like a pizza joint in New York City somewhere.
Gotcha.
And Alex Jones was a big pusher of this idea.
Yeah.
He thought it was real, and so he told everybody. One of his supporters went to Pizza Planet with a gun to go find out the truth, like fired a shot, put a hole in the ceiling or something like that. Like no one got hurt, luckily. But he went there to go find proof of this conspiracy, and there was none because the first problem is there's actually no basement in that building for there to be a pedophile ring being run out of. And then there's like a whole bunch of like emails and things are taken out of context, and so people think that it's about like a pedophile ring. And this goes back to like the I think it came from the Anthony Weiner emails, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so the Storm is sort of related to that, and this is a different one where again they believe that it is pedophile rings being run by Democrats, and the Storm is the calm before the storm, and Donald Trump is going to bust this ring up. So where's my favorite thing on here? There's like a thing in here where specifically cannibals, kids, and Satan. We should just post this link so you guys can read it yourself. There's a lot going on here, and it's kind of hard to get into all of it. So let me find the line I was looking for here.
There it is.
According to the Enlightened, Trump awkwardly took a drink from a bottle of Fiji water at a press conference in November 2017. Wasn't because he was thirsty. It was actually a secret signal to those in the know that the storm of annihilation of deep state pedophiles had begun or was about to begin because, as everyone knows, Fiji is a hotspot for child trafficking. This is the leaps of logic that Trump supporters, like I'm going to say alt-right Trump supporters. I don't want to paint everybody with this brush. But there are a lot of people
There are some crazy Trump
who legitimately
supporters
think that this kind of thing is real and true, and this is why they support Trump, because they think he's... I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm all for people who are fighting against pedophilia. Don't get me
Absolutely.
wrong. But I don't think that that's what's happening here.
I think people are just going crazy.
So maybe instead of talking about this every now and then, maybe every couple of weeks, because there are tons of these conspiracy theories, we'll just post a link in our thing while we're talking.
Hey, here's the crazy thing that we found today. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, like there's lots of nut bar stuff that I just generally don't get into. Because I try to avoid anything Trump related in my day-to-day life. Because it's all very frustrating. You see his tweet today?
No.
So apparently the Americans are going to launch a military strike against Syria. So he tweeted about it to Russia. to let them know. Just FYI, guys, we're going to be attacking Syria because, Syria.
As in, like, hey, get your people out of the way.
Because Russia's an ally of Syria, right? Or they are currently allied with Syria. They are in there protecting Syria, is my understanding. I might be totally backwards on that. But...
I can't even. Okay. No,
I'm just going to Google it. I'm not going to Google the actual... Well, actually, I'm probably going to Google the actual
You are
tweet.
going to.
But, yeah, okay. Russia is allied with Syria.
With Syria.
Yeah.
So we're then...
Apparently the decision hadn't been made when he made the tweet. But, yeah, he basically tweeted at Russia, missiles are going to be coming to Syria.
Like FedEx?
Well, I'm assuming
The president
by
just
air.
tweeted something that is the most direct
Here, I think
and
everyone can hear
aggressive
this.
language we've heard about the situation in Syria vis-a-vis Russia. Russia, as you know, through its ambassador to Lebanon, said any U.S. missiles that come into Syria, we will shoot them down. The missiles, not the planes, but still a threat. The president responds, Russia vows to shoot down any and all missiles fired at Syria. Get ready, Russia, because they will be coming. Nice and new and smart. You shouldn't be partners with a gas-killing animal who kills his people and enjoys it. Correct response.
Well, so I have to say I agree with President Trump in his description of Putin.
Okay, go. So I muted our mic so we didn't have
I
that
see.
weird feedback loop going.
Oh, yeah. Smart. We're getting...
So I forgot about that.
We're getting fancy.
But then
with
I
that
had to
stuff.
remember to unmute the mic.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would be like episode 17 all over again, which we do not talk about. We do not speak of episode 17. Or 19.
Yeah,
I don't remember which episode.
He's not wrong about Russia shouldn't be backing Syria when Syria's, like, committing...
Right, but he
shouldn't be... Well,
should be warning people?
Well, yeah.
Hey, heads up, guys. We're going to be bombing Syria.
Yeah, because, hey, like, you're not so bad. Just, get out of the way while we, like... I don't know. It's weird. I don't know anymore.
Anyways,
know.
this is why we don't talk about...
That's right. So we should move on to Kickstarter Crystal Ball.
Yeah, absolutely we should.
Hey, do we still have Emitemi? That should be out of there, shouldn't it?
Oh, God. Hold on. I just broke everything. I gotta grab my text.
Oh, man. We got, like, tons of stuff that we're going to, like, kick off today.
Yeah, because we haven't done this for 3 weeks. Okay, Kickstarter Crystal Ball. I'm putting exclamation points on everything for no reason. All right.
Yeah. I noticed we were a very exclamatory show today.
All right. Emma Timmy!
Didn't make it.
Didn't make it.
I think we knew that.
Not even remotely shocking to us.
0 backers.
The Outdoorsman. Is this one done?
0 backers.
$0, 0 backers. That is 2 for 2. I'm so glad that one didn't get anything. Sons of Ammo.
It's not going to do it. But we got 3 days.
3 days to go. 189 out of 126,000. No,
That's not happening. Nice try. Nice thoughts, but that's not
The
going
Alexa
anywhere.
salt lamp.
Is this done yet?
It is. Had 2 backers. Got $208 out of 2,500. I think we might have known this last time.
Their moms were not enough to make it go.
I haven't actually trimmed this down, so we might be going over stuff again. RSVP skinnies.
Not a chance.
Nope, didn't make it.
All right. The safety.
Oh, yeah, this
Here we go. 0 did not make it, but they made it like halfway there.
Yeah, almost. That wasn't bad.
That's interesting. Yeah, that was.
I thought it was a weird thing.
It's
so.
totally weird.
The ouch.
Is this done yet? Please
It is
be
done.
Hooray! Only got 2 backers. Yeah, that was a stupid one.
Not Watts. Is this still on our list? This must have.
Not Watts. Ugh.
I think that was
Please
done
be
last
done.
time.
Good.
That is done. Didn't make
Not
it.
nowhere near.
The pet crate.
Oh, this one like blew it away.
Follow along. Oh yeah. This one definitely made it. I could have removed this.
Yeah, this one.
I didn't do a ton of prep today, guys. Sorry.
Techclo. 24 days to go.
This is.
It is not gonna make it, unless he can like drum up tons of like something or other. Popcorn. I liked this.
Ooh, 0. 2 weeks ago, still at 0. These guys aren't gonna make it.
No.
Benidorm, the weird. Is it? What bed do you sleep in? We don't know.
We don't know who's
6 backers for $54. What's the average on that? $9. It's averaging $9. That's less than a pledge without a reward. That's weird. That's like that's 16 reward. Canadian dollars. It's like half that. Whatever.
So they're not gonna make it.
The money taco.
Oh, this was a good debate.
This one says 37 days still. Oh God, these guys aren't gonna make it. I mean, I didn't think they would. I don't think. I don't remember what I said. I'm not gonna look it up.
Yeah.
All right, the new one. The Voyage Chair. The beach chair reimagined.
I love the name. I hate the project. What?
So this is a beach chair reimagined, and I did go through this before. I can't really tell you what they reimagined on it. This is basically just a beach chair.
But it's got anti-theft protect. How do they got anti-theft protection?
I can show you that actually. So it's this thing here.
The zipper?
This pocket, no, like this whole piece folds up and
Okay.
clips onto there. So if you do want to steal it, you have to unhook that and then unzip it. I think that's their anti-theft protection. I don't think the anti-theft is there's like an alarm so if someone tries to steal your chair.
I want to see like a bear trap.
Or like a flamethrower.
Yeah, flamethrower. That's beach chair with flamethrower. There's our Kickstarter.
It's so hot. So there's a pillow with a hidden pocket. So that's some sort of thing. Custom fabric design, whatever. It just looks like every other beach chair. Wooden armrests like every other beach chair.
Yeah.
5 adjustable positions like every other beach chair. A can pocket like every other beach chair. Padded back straps like every other beach chair. A polymesh seat, that might be new, probably not.
No, it's not.
Secure carabiner.
They put a carabiner on it.
Yeah, that's maybe different. Handle, metal frame, more insulated can sleeves. So I guess you get like a lot of can storage maybe. Towel dry rack, which honestly just looks like the other leg if you want to like lay it down.
Yeah.
Smartphone sleeve, that might be new maybe. Large
No.
storage pocket, definitely not new. Mesh outer pocket, also not new. Like I say, I have no idea what the hell they've bothered to reimagine here. This is just a beach chair, and I honestly think the only difference is this feature. Because I don't know that I've seen this on a beach chair. Everything else.
You're playing kind of fast and loose with the word feature.
I'm a programmer. Everything's a feature. That's how I sell things.
Oh
to
yeah.
people.
Okay.
So
Holy moly!
So they're asking for. I didn't even look at.
Play
that.
the video. Pam wants the video.
Okay. So we got in trouble once for the audio in a video, so I'm always a little wary. But okay.
Yeah, let's play.
I'm just gonna mute us.
Yeah, mute us. Can we hear it though?
Hey Kickstarter, I'm Matt Benedetto, the founder of Sondre Travel, and I'm back again for our 3rd campaign. This is the Voyage Chair. I love to travel, and thousands of people are now traveling better with products from our Voyage collection. That's why I'm excited to introduce our newest edition. Meet the Voyage Chair, the beach chair completely reimagined. After being unsatisfied with mundane beach chairs that all look the same, I spent the last 8 months redesigning every aspect. The Voyage Chair is constructed on a tough aluminum frame with real wooden armrests. Our premium custom...
Okay, I'm just going to take some real quick exception here. His beach chair looks the same as every other beach chair. He just said he was tired of beach chairs looking like every other beach chair. They all look the same. Yeah, so does yours.
No, this one has a feature.
All right. I'm going to leave our sound on. You guys are going to have to deal with the echo.
Some printed fabric will stand out to easily spot your chair against the crowd. Go to and from the beach comfortably with our extra wide...
I've seen blue beach chairs.
Not blue with green.
Grab and go with the easy grip handle. When relaxing on the Voyage Chair, the polymesh seat increases airflow to dry your bathing suit and allows for sand to easily fall through. Find the perfect angle with 5 adjustable positions for ultimate comfort while enjoying the sun. The back rod locks securely in place to double as a drying rack for your towel or clothing. Most importantly, the Voyage Chair features 2 unique insulated can sleeves.
This is most
Each
important.
sleeve perfectly fits 3 12-ounce cans. A second larger insulated pocket can also fit additional beverages, food, or just about anything else. For quick and easy access, there's an exterior mesh compartment for other accessories. The included pillow is fully adjustable. Plus, for a layer of anti-theft protection, it features a secret access pocket to store important valuables you might have on you. The
It's in the pillow?
carabiner closure also
Yep.
doubles as a lock to secure a second bag to the Voyage Chair. Have peace of mind when you're taking a nap. Lastly, have everything you need within reach with 2 armrest pockets. On one side, hold your drink in an insulated can holder. On the other side, the dual pockets are perfect for a smartphone, speaker, sunscreen, and much more. As an early backer, you can be the first to get your hands on the Voyage Chair. Select a reward today, and we'll see you this summer on the beach.
Negative.
It's just a beach chair. That's all it is a beach chair.
Yeah, Pam points out it's not so secret. The secret compartment.
No.
Let's advertise it on Kickstarter. That's a good way to have it.
Well, I mean, if, as long as you're surrounded by people who don't know what a Sandre Voyage chair is,
Yeah.
then I guess. Was that
Which
security through obfuscation?
Hopefully will continue to be most people.
Well, they're doing okay.
They had like a couple of other like successful,
Yeah. Yeah. So this
all
isn't their
their
first one.
all their rebackers, right?
Yeah. So they're looking for
15,000
15,000 American. They're at 6,400. So more than a third of the way there.
More
Almost
than a
halfway there. Pretty close to halfway there. $10, no reward. Sorry, well, American. $5
20
gets you a high five, a handwritten thank you letter. I wonder if that's true. Like, if you get like a bunch of if they get let's say they get $5,000 from this. So was that 1,000 of these? Are there really going to be 1,000 handwritten letters?
There's only one way to find out.
Do you think so? I don't believe that. I think you're going to get like a copy of a handwritten letter, like a PDF of a handwritten letter emailed to you.
Maybe hand signed.
Maybe. Even then. 26, 22. God. 20. That's a 2. $22, Dave. The Voyage Shades. Receive 1 pair of Voyage Shades. So you get sunglasses, I'm guessing, is what a Voyage Shade is. They don't really mention it. $59. Get the Voyage Chair at the early bird price. 60 American. 74 Canadian dollars for a beach chair.
You got to remember, we don't have beaches.
We have beach chairs. I know this because I go to.
We have lawn chairs.
No, we have beach chairs. I go to Folk Fest,
Yeah, fair enough.
and
good point.
people
Yep.
bring illegal beach chairs all the time.
Illegal beach chairs.
Yeah, they're too big.
Like,
There are strict. If you've never been to Folk Fest, there are strict regulations about how large your chair can be. And
Really?
beach chairs, something like this, the back is technically too high, but people don't care. They bring them anyway.
jerks.
And so every now and then they'll get so you'll see security people walking around with a stick, and they'll hold it up next to the thing to see if the back of the chair is too high.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
And then they just get
I want that
They
job.
basically get a warning that says, "Hey, stop doing that. Don't bring this chair anymore."
Pam, you hand wrote all your thank you notes from your wedding? That's ridiculous.
That sounds like the kind of thing Pam would do.
I haven't sent out my thank you notes.
So I'm trying to find. There we go. Beach
So,
chairs at
what's-
Canadian Tire.
So 74 gets you the early bird.
Yep. 87 Canadian or 69 American.
Gets you the voyage chair.
At regular price. So here's a. Oh, that one doesn't. I'll try to
so
find
they're
one
just
with
selling out of those
similar.
first. Okay,
I'm going to try to find one with similar features.
137 gets you 2.
Yeah, I think it just winds up being a multiples after that.
What? Oh, that's early bird. Yeah, okay. Boring.
Okay, so
3.
there's a Rio 5-position beach chair at Canadian Tire for $37.99. So 5 positions. Okay.
5 positions.
Yep, just
But
like
this has
one.
5.
Yes, I think it has. Well, those might be plastic handles, to be fair. And that one looks like it might not have the towel drying rack on it.
And what's the price?
$37.99.
So half price.
Half price. Yeah.
Okay. But it doesn't have the secret security compartment.
Yeah, it doesn't, but I'm sure I could find one that does. I didn't plan ahead for this because I didn't actually care.
Oh, man. It's brutal. All right.
Here we go. Here we go. Boop. Walmart. Look at that. Pockets, pillows, towel drying rack. $30. Red or black?
That's Canadian.
Canadian. Now, it might not have a secret zipper compartment, but
It's got a fully adjustable headrest.
I bet you for less than $40, I could just add a pocket to the back of this pillow.
Oh, you cynical bastard.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so 137, you get 2 chairs. 163, you get 2 chairs at regular price. 189, you get 3 chairs. 239 is 4 chairs. You can get 10 chairs for $549 American dollars. $692. Would you spend $700 on beach chairs, Jeremy?
I would not.
Okay. Do you think this should be on here? That's the not the million. It's $1 million question. Should this be on here?
Yes, this is the type of. This is someone coming up with a product that they think is neat and unique. And I mean, legitimately, like those zipper compartments for the cans. Mm-hmm. That's all. Like having the zipper compartments built into the chair, so that you don't have to have like an extra bag of stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm slowly warming up to this idea, this thing being like a neat idea. I would not be buying one of these because the practicality of it. Have you packed the chair yet? As in, like, loaded the chair up of everything before you pack the chair into the. I would rather throw the chair and have everything else in a separate bag so that I can have more than 6 drinks.
I mean, a lot of these beach chairs, because I've seen a lot of them, do have pockets on the back. They aren't like can-shaped and insulated necessarily.
Well, if they're not can-shaped, how do they hold cans? Haha.
Well, you've got me there.
So yes, I think this is the type of thing that's good for Kickstarter. It's people thinking about new and interesting ideas.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, this feels like too complete a product for me for a Kickstarter. You know what I mean? Like, I like...
Well, hang on. Okay, so what are they using the money for?
That's a good question.
That'll
tell me things.
That'll tell me things.
Oh, it has all the features. More features. Features.
Everything's a feature.
Features. Rewards.
Oh, there are the shades.
Yep.
I don't like those.
No, those are ugly.
Okay.
Production.
I assume so.
That's it. Production and shipping. So it's just a pre-order. That's all it is. They have a web page.
Those jerks.
and you can get notified when it launches. So you can't pre-order from. Oh God, you can't pre-order from the web page, but you can at least sign up for.
I would be upset if you could pre-order from the webpage.
Trying to see if I can.
That would be.
I'm just trying to see if I can find a spot to actually pre-order. Oop. Notify me when it launches.
Yeah. See, it's fine. This is the type of thing that.
Yeah, but there's nothing stopping them from putting a pre-order button. Like, realistically, there's nothing stopping them from putting a pre-order button on their web page. It's the same difference.
So they're just using Kickstarter
as a pre-order system.
Can
we guarantee
as an advertising?
Yeah. I mean, maybe they don't. I'd be curious to see. Let's say this fails. I'd like to see their website. If they don't get crowdfunded, do they still produce? Is my question, right?
Yeah, because this may be guaranteeing. You may have to start with an initial batch order.
Yeah, and that could be right. Maybe they were like, oh, it's we have to make sure we're going to sell 2,000 or whatever the number.
Yeah, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if that were actually the case. You can't do onesie twosies.
No, absolutely. I get that. I totally get that. Right, but I'm just saying, if you have something that you believe in,
it's a feasibility campaign.
I guess, but
I'm okay with that. It takes risk out of. I like it. I mean, not the chair, but I'm okay with them doing it on Kickstarter. I won't buy one.
Man, I just don't know. I'm really torn about whether or not this should be on a Kickstarter or not.
Come on, you cynical bastard.
I am cynical about it.
But yet you think people are generally good.
I'm not the one who said that. You're the one who said that.
I did not. I said there's lots of good people.
Yeah. But I also said I didn't say that people were generally good.
Oh, okay.
I said that there was lots of bad people. Lots of selfish people. That's what I said.
We're not going back into that right now. We got to get this done with.
I'm just saying. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, whatever. It kind of doesn't matter if I think it should be here or not. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to say no. I don't think this should be here. This is basically
for the sake of argument.
This should basically
so that we have something to argue about.
I'm just saying. This is a finished product. They could. I think if they did a run of whatever their minimum run is, they'd still sell it, right? This is just a pre-order system, like a guaranteed pre-order system for them.
Okay,
well, is how I'm looking at it.
We should definitely follow it up after the 40 days. And
yeah, I'd like to see if it. I don't think it's going to fail, but I would like for it to fail so I could see what they do after that.
I know what you're saying.
Right? I don't want to see the way that you're fail. I'm just saying.
Okay. Do you think it's going? You think it's going to go?
I think it's going to go. 40 days, and they're almost halfway there. Yeah, they'll get it.
I'm going to say they're going to get it too. I think it's a little crazy, but I think there are enough. I think there are enough visitors to the Kickstarter webpage that would go for this product.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that I think Kickstarters enjoy.
Yeah.
A finished product that they're just pre-ordering. That's their favorite thing.
That kind of is their favorite thing. Hey? It's also my favorite thing. Do you want to talk about my 2 Kickstarters that I'm waiting on now?
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's talk about that.
So, first of all, there's nothing new about the Bluetooth earbuds. I'm waiting. I'm waiting on them to come.
Have they shipped?
No.
Have they been made?
They've been pushed back a little bit. Let me see if I can find the latest. They've been pushed back for on me or on on
you.
Okay.
Being pushed back.
they.
Yeah, they're 42% of the way there on day one.
They're gonna. This is day one. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got pushed back because they're improving it and they're upping the build quality of what they had originally anticipated is what they were.
Okay, well that's good. Like
So-
a lot of Kickstarters, when they delay, it's because they got to remove features because they don't have enough money.
Yep. No. But this one blew it away. Right. This
Yeah,
was for. Let's see if I can actually go to the stupid. Where's my? Go there. Don't just.
Yeah, I backed one Kickstarter, and I have it, and they've never worked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have like some Bluetooth headphones that I could put inside my motorcycle helmet,
Right.
and
Oh.
I've never gotten them to work. Like they won't even charge, as far as I can tell.
Ooh.
It's really frustrating.
That's no good.
No.
Yeah. No. These guys. They've been saying that they're increasing the driver. They're putting a bigger driver in than they originally thought, and these were already supposed to be pretty big ones. And they're. See if. And they met like all of their stretch goals, right? Yeah, they were talking
okay,
about
sorry.
an 8 mil
Yeah.
driver.
What am I talking about? You can't do that.
What kind of ears do you have? And they were.
Sorry.
No.
My world lives more in over the ear headphones.
Yeah, and that's what was so unique about these ones, right? I think they might have actually gone down a size, but up the quality of the drivers. I don't know. Anyway, but they also are changing the. They're making the case smaller,
Okay.
which is a good thing.
I should have brought my earbuds. I got some really good earbuds.
Wireless ones.
No, they are not wireless, but the way they fit in the ear.
Which ones are they?
There's some Bose ones,
Okay.
but they just have like the little rubber thing that sort of tucks inside
Yep.
your ear. That is the greatest thing. I love those.
Are they these Bose ones?
Nope. Exact same thingy, but different. They're a different earbud. But yeah,
Those I
those
really
are so comfortable.
These super comfortable. These Bose. I have an headphone problem.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's been well documented that Jeremy buys too many headphones. These Bose ones fit the same way,
I
but
think I like those.
the thing about them is they need the mic on the outside because they're active noise canceling.
Oh,
Holy crap! On an airplane, cannot hear on like a Dash 8.
yeah.
Sitting beside the engine, cannot hear the engine.
Yeah, I usually wear my headphones when I'm like walking around downtown, so noise canceling is a terrible idea.
See, I was going to say the exact opposite. I love wearing these when I'm walking around downtown.
It's a good way to get hit by a car, I think.
Oh, I don't walk in the street.
I just walk everywhere.
Why are you wandering around in the middle of the street?
Crossing a street. Sometimes I wish I had noise.
I look around when I cross the street.
Oh, I barely pay attention.
Well, then don't get noise canceling. That's true. Definitely don't.
It'd be bad for me.
Yeah. Hoping for really good there. And then, I'll put this. Dun, dun. This one's. This is the VoltBot.
Oh, I forgot you backed this.
I backed this sucker. This thing is cool.
That's shipped, right?
No. I don't know when it's shipping. We'll see. We'll see if I.
Oh, Kickstarter, you're so frustrating.
Yeah, estimated delivery is May 2018.
Okay. So like 6 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. I have high hopes for that actually working. Oh, and okay, so I also so for people who haven't kept up with my life, I've recently started flying again. I'm a helicopter pilot. I just ordered my new helmet because I need a new helmet. My old one's not so good anymore.
Yeah.
So here's the helmet. that's coming to me.
There, we'll show it to everybody.
Yeah, man.
Nerd.
Oh, man. I can't wait to get this thing.
Yeah, helicopter helmets are cool.
Yeah, man.
Wish I had a reason to wear a helmet other than riding my motorbike.
I'm glad I don't have to wear a helmet in like everyday life, though.
Yeah, they do kind of suck a little bit. Ooh, man, do we ever get blurry there? That was weird. That was you.
It might have been me just getting excited about stuff. So. Yeah, no, that's. But that thing, estimated ship for that thing is beginning of May as well. Everything's taking forever. I'm forever waiting on the mail.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of our show, everybody.
That's all we have to say.
So we hope
about
you
that.
liked it. If you aren't watching this on Facebook, you can join us every Wednesday, probably, at around 8 o'clock Mountain Time, facebook.com/Bourbon and Zeppelins. Find us on YouTube. Search for Bourbon and Zeppelins. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/BNZ Show.
Or BNZ if you're in the States.
Yeah, that's the one thing you say every week, and you totally blanked on it.
I'm thinking about my helmet.
We're way out of practice.
Way
you can
out
also
of
follow
practice.
us on Instagram, instagram.com/Bourbon and Zeppelins.
And if you've forgotten or if you've missed the beginning of the show, it'll be up on YouTube sometime in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, I make no guarantees
Dave-
about when I'm going to upload this.
Takes
I had
a
like a
long
day where because I didn't record anything for like 3 weeks.
I noticed that. So you just randomly uploaded one of
I
our old
downloaded
episodes.
all of them, and I uploaded all of them the same day. So I had like 3 go up,
Oh,
like
on-
one right after the other.
downloaded from Facebook
Downloaded from Facebook
and uploaded to YouTube.
Uploaded to YouTube.
Gotcha.
So you didn't even. So if yeah,
So you had something to watch
that's
because
something to watch. but there
guaranteed
was
you
a-
didn't see it
The
before.
we only have 12 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, I guess that's sort of our own fault. I guess I could be doing.
I know we haven't really.
If I did something to maybe drive.
traffic to that.
Yeah.
If really this was for anything more than our own amusement,
Yeah, that's true. If we were, serious about it.
we'll get serious about things one day.
Anywho, yeah, it's been a blast talking to you. We've missed doing this. At least I have. Although I'm going to be all stressed out about politics now.
Just keep posting the cats.
I'll just keep posting cats. Yeah, so that's it. We'll see you in a week, hopefully.
Probably.
You don't have anything coming up? You going to be out of town?
No, I shouldn't be. I shouldn't
Okay.
be gone.
You shouldn't
yet.
be out of town.
We
I
should
shouldn't be
2
dying
weeks in a row.
of like some polio, cancer,
As long as Dave can avoid
AIDS
getting rickets.
thing. I don't know. There's a lot of kids around. Well, not kids. Parents at the office, and I think they bring stuff into the office
From their kids and
Yeah, that's
Drink.
my theory.
drink more bourbon.
I can't at the office. We have a real strict rule about that. Apparently.
Actually,
And-
at the hangar, we have a pretty strict rule about it.
I bet you do too. Probably stricter than ours, but ours is pretty strict. But like, I'm literally, if I work from home, I'm not allowed to have a drink. If I'm working from
How
home.
would they know?
I mean, they wouldn't know. I'm just saying, technically, according to the rules.
Really?
Yeah. Which I kind of didn't know, but not that it's ever come up. I mean, I've never done it. I'm just saying I didn't know. All right. Anyways, that's it. We'll see you next week. Later. Bye.
See ya.